are here today.
We went from a party of 2 to a party 3.
Yes! 3 is company, if you haven't heard.
Company.
Obviously.
Oh, I love that show.
Welcome back to another episode of YA at Heart. We are discussing today the Wrath and the Dawn pages. Oh, fuck. What
149.
pages?
149 to 211. There we go.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Listen, my brain is not acting as it should be. I can't get my shit together. Also, you guys, please make sure that you follow us on social media at YA at Heart Podcast on Instagram. Right. On Instagram and on TikTok and at YA at Heart Pod on Twitter. And make sure you follow at Bad and Bookie on Instagram. And like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
And leave reviews, please. And thank you.
Yes. I think, should we do, are we going to do a review giveaway?
You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do a review giveaway, so stay tuned for that.
That's how most of our meetings go. Do you want to do this? Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Good talk.
Right.
Good talk. Yeah, so 149 through 211. It got saucy.
It did.
Khalid is my new book boyfriend.
I
He's my new book boyfriend. He up there.
Same.
There were moments where I was like, oh.
Thank you.
I know, right?
You know that moment where you just go,
right. I did that a lot last night.
I had to put the book down. I was like, oh. And I get it. I get that it might be a little creepy because in this book, he's 18. But this book, I made sure it was published in 2016. So baby boy is 24. And that is legal age.
She calculated his age.
Yes, I calculated because you're not going to have me out here thirsting for an 18-year-old. He's 24 years old.
Oh, my God.
It's not weird.
Not at all.
It's not weird.
Is it me or does like the book move like quickly? Like I love the pacing.
Does.
The pacing is really good.
It is.
It's done very well. And it doesn't skip a beat either.
And everything flows really nicely. It doesn't feel chopped up. And it doesn't feel like, oh, Jesus, we're hopping too much. Like, we're hopping here, we're hopping there. Everything flows really nicely.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't feel like it's, sometimes with fantasies or like just fiction in general, they can either talk too much about details that really don't matter to you, or they don't talk enough about things that you want to know more about. I feel like this is a good mix. The editing was done really well. I like the flow, the pacing.
Yeah. Ashley and I were talking about this book is giving us everything that Siege and Storm right now is not.
I don't even.
And we're not even going to bring that up because
I texted Morgan after I read like a couple chapters of this book and I was like, Morgs, this book is giving me everything that like Siege and Storm isn't. I was like, Khalid is now on the list for a book boyfriend. I was like, way ahead of Mal. Like, I was like, I can't.
Ashley turned this into a Siege and
Shit
Storm.
show. I'm done. Sorry. We can get back to the real stuff.
No, but I get it though. But yes, this is a really good book. And I'm surprised that it took us so long to actually get to read it. Because this was one of my first book hauls. Yeah. One of my first book hauls after like I got back into reading and stuff. So it's been shitting.
Words.
It's fucking words. It's been sitting on my shelf for the better part of a year now. So I'm glad that we got around to it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it. Chapter 15, The Promise of Tomorrow. Oh my God. And the name of this chapter when we get to it is so sweet. It's so sweet.
Okay. So Shazi has decided to unalive the King of Kings.
And I'm just like, girl, why? Could you not? Like,
same.
I know you have feelings for him. Like, don't. She reminds me of Megara.
Oh, yes.
And she's like, who you think it's on it? He's the earth and heaven too. And she's like, no. So it's like, I know you have feelings. Just fucking give in. Like, I think when she finds out why the other brides had to die and about the curse, then she'll be more willing to like give in.
I agree. Because like I think right now she's really torn to her loyalty to Shiva, and then like seeing certain things seeing certain things about him that aren't true. I think that's where she's torn. and she just doesn't know. And
Yeah.
we have to give her credit. Like in the book, she's 16. So it's really hard for her to like try to figure out what's going on, what she's feeling. Because she had that puppy love with Tyreek. And like now it's like, oh wait, there's this whole other person who shows interest in me and believes in me and thinks of me as this queen and things that it's very
Yeah.
It's a whole passion. So she decides that her plan is she's gonna take him out into the city in disguise, like the story she told him about Aladdin and the Princess.
Correct.
And he agrees to go on this adventure because he trusts her.
Mm-hmm.
That scares me a bit too, because I wonder what the dynamic of the relationship is going to be like when he finds out that she has been trying to kill him this whole time.
Yes.
The betrayal. The betrayal.
I know. I don't want it to happen.
My heart's gonna ache for
That's
this
really
man when he gets to that point.
But will it though? I mean,
She said, "What do you mean, will it?"
listen. Hashtag trust issues.
You know what? No, I get that. I get that. We talked about that last episode, taking people on face value.
Yeah. Because at the same time, he was, you got to think about it too. He intended on killing her too. So it's not like, and it's not completely off the table yet either.
Yeah.
She was just almost, poisoned and all that stuff. So it's like, she has just as much as he does she has just as much reason as he does for them to be like,
cautious
side-eyeing
around
each other.
Yeah, cautious around each other, which is, I mean, that's a valid point. It's a completely valid point.
She was just poisoned like yesterday.
Facts.
Almost. So it's like,
whoops.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too keen on falling in love anytime soon if that happened to me. I don't know about anybody else, but
I guess that's a valid point.
So, they go into the city. They go into the souk, I think is what it's called,
souk?
right?
Souk? Souk.
So they go into souk, and like they basically have this adventure. They do run into trouble where somebody like blatantly flirts with Shazi, but like in an obnoxious way. And she turns him down. He can't take no for an answer. And Khalid comes in and he's like, "You won't take your hands off my wife before you lose these hands." And I was just like, yes. I was like, yes.
It was the touch her and you die for me.
Yes.
I don't know why we love murderous men.
It's just
YA Heart does not condone abusive relationships in real life. We just want to put that out there.
No, we do not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely
we don't.
not.
But for your book fantasies, if that's what you into, that's what you into.
If you're into whips, whoop asses, I mean, whatever it is. Ties, bonds, each to your own.
Right. The thing that got me in this chapter, the first thing that got me was Shazi talks about Shiva a little bit. She doesn't specifically give her name, but she's like, "Oh yeah, I had a best friend," and her laugh was like joy and sunshine and everything. It was beautiful. And Khalid says, "You have a beautiful laugh, like the promise of tomorrow."
Yes. Yeah.
It's like a different side to him.
It's a completely different side. Like he's being romantic. He's laughing with her. He's smiling with her. And how could you not love this murderous man?
Then the shit hits the fan because then the dude that was flirting with her earlier shows back up. And he's, again, can't take no for an answer. And you're just like, dog, can you stop? Can you just...
It was cringy, yeah.
So then it gets out of hand because it gets physical. And Khalid jumps in and like he's ready to start slashing people to bits. Anyway, it just they end up running. And Khalid and Shazi end up in an alleyway in order to like take these people off their trail. And now they're up close on each other and just kind of like, oh my God.
It was perfect.
They end up kissing.
He's like, "It's your mouth that got us in trouble." She was like, "No, it's your stupidity that got us in trouble." He's like, "See that magnificent mouth?" And I was like,
that right there, that was the page where I was like, oh.
I know. That was the page where I literally shut the book. I texted Ashley and I was like, "Bitch!"
All I get is a voice note. Bitch! I was like, okay, obviously something went down. I gotta read more.
I've got those before.
It's everything we wanted.
Yeah. It's a good sign when she sends you those.
Exactly, just that one little sound.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Right. It's a 1-second clip of just yelling.
Right,
Yep.
exactly.
And it's the kiss that would change everything.
Yeah, because that like it makes her like sit and think about it. She's like, oh my god, like I might actually have feelings. But then that's also where her like emotion of being torn comes into, because she's like looking to be loyal to Shiva and the mission that she gave herself.
It's guilt, and there's probably guilt also, not just for her having feelings, but also guilt of having the opportunity to see that side of him that Shiva never saw. And guilt, like, okay, now that I know this thing that is unknown, what do I do with it? Do I give it, you know, the affection and the feeling that I want to give it, that it does deserve, but that's a personal between me and him? Or do I just stick to my guns and what my original plan, and not worry about that or him, and just do my own thing like I was supposed to do in respect and honor of her? So like, I think the guilt is what is a new feeling that has started to set in this chapter really heavily.
I agree.
So that moves us into chapter 16, which is Misbegotten Oaths. Let me see. Oh, they get back to the house. The palace. Duh, bitch. They get back to the palace. And he holds her hand all the way there, all the way to her room. General Al-Cowrie is like, I can take her to her room and you can go rest, my king. He's like, that's not necessary. I will escort her myself. And they get in there. They have this whole moment, and he's flirting with her, and he's all up on her, and he's trying to get her to ask him for spicy time. But he's like, I'm not gonna bring it up. Like, if you want to bring it up, that's fine, but I'm not gonna bring it up. And then they like say goodnight, but I'm like, oh, why? You just had an amazing fucking adventure. Just fucking do it.
Goddamn.
But before that, you know, I was glad when he said, I'll take her to her room, because we all know that General does not like her.
Facts.
And I was afraid that he's just trying to get, well, my thoughts after the last chapters was he's trying to get any moment he can to be alone with her so he can try something, because he has his own agenda.
Yeah.
And when Khalid told her, because she said, why does he not like me? He said, because he sees a threat. And that was before he took her to her room. And I was like, you know what? I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
It's true. He's not wrong. But the fact that he knows it too kind of gives me the hint that maybe if General Al-Cowrie tried something, the first person he would question would be him, because he sees and he recognizes that there is a problem between them, and that's probably something he'll still try something whether he told him not to or not.
Yeah. Like with the tea and then the hanging as well.
And he told him, he said, a threat to her life is a threat to mine.
Yes, oh my God, yes, because we get his point of view. Finally, halfway through the book, we get his fucking point of view. And I love it. Where he has that whole sit down moment with him, and he's like, I don't care about all that bullshit you talking about. This is what it is. Oh, I love him.
I mean, that you know, tall, dark, and handsome, rich, got money, you know, nice crib.
Right,
and he protected.
That's my type.
And he protected.
Like, really? The other thing I want to bring up here is that towards the end of his point of view, General Al-Cowrie is like, we're almost at the end now. Don't let her get in the way. And then he also says that he can see the toll that this is taking on him physically. So we get to learn now that not only is the curse like him having to kill people to keep up with the reign in his country, it's also his physical health will deplete if he doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck did you do? I need to know.
You or your family.
I need to know.
Right, exactly.
He says he brought this upon himself. So it had to have been him.
I remember reading that. That's true. He did say that. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how much of that really is true, because it could also mean from his perspective, he brought it upon himself.
Correct.
And maybe not in reality what truly happened, because we all know families like this, they all have secrets. So
This is true.
maybe from his perspective, he thinks he did.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. Yeah. And he's like, I can't remember the last time I wanted something so much.
Oh, I love him. Guys.
I stand for this
Facts, I will
man.
die on this hill for this man.
But yeah, I wrote in my notes, I was like, it's getting juicy. And again, he admits that he bought this upon himself. So in my mind, I put together a spec list. Okay. Of the people that maybe he killed.
Okay.
I only have 2 suspects so far.
Okay.
1, did he kill his own father?
Oh.
You mean like as like the greatest sin kind of curse?
Right, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But his dad deserved it.
His dad definitely deserved it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if his dad did have some type of like magic, like Jahandar,
Right.
and he cursed his
Right.
son, yeah. So it could be something like that. Or maybe it was like a Beauty and the Beast situation, you know, where the magic witch comes up with the rose and she's like, please give me, shelter for the night. And he's like, be gone, bitch. Like maybe it was something like that where he killed that person, the magic person, and then they cursed him.
Or it could be a crime his father committed and he had to pay for it.
Yeah, something like that too.
That's what I originally thought too. But now it's like I'm confused because he's like, I did this. And I'm like, what did
But
you
the thing is,
I mean,
like,
Whoa.
but here's the thing though. I did this, yet he's 18. That is super young to have done something that could have this type of consequence. Do you know what I mean?
But it doesn't mean it
I'm
didn't
not saying it
happen.
didn't happen, but then, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, at 18, what did you do? Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
that's why I'm saying I think it's something that he's seeing from his perspective, because that's what kids do.
Yeah.
Kids,
Yeah.
every time something happens, they go, "Oh, it's my fault," because they're a kid. They don't know better.
I don't know any better.
So do you think in that case, do you think it was when his father killed his mother and he stood by and he felt like
Yes,
he
Could have been,
Yes,
yeah.
that's exactly what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Could have
Because
been.
that was
Okay.
gonna be my spec. Was that was mine?
daddy killing
That
him?
could have
Okay.
been it.
We have 3 suspects.
That he was a witness and he's taking fault as being a witness to something.
Right.
And the only thing I can think of is his
Okay.
mother that meant a lot to him, because there was no other mention of another person that meant a lot to him other than his mother. So it had to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said that he was never really the same
Yeah,
after
exactly.
that. So, okay. Look at us fucking investigators. So that pretty much before we end that chapter, we find out that, and I think we already kind of suspected this, that he's looking for Shazi's family and they are nowhere to be found. And he's like, he wants to trust her and he wants to outright ask her, but he's like, I've only lied to her once. And I know in her eyes when she's lying to me, and I don't think that I can handle that disappointment. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I love him.
that was a sweet moment.
I love him.
I know. I will follow you to the ends of the earth, good sir. To the ends of the earth.
Yeah, we move on to the next chapter, and it's called The Honor of Betrayal. I don't know if y'all expected it, but I
shot
I
it.
didn't expect it. I was like, oh. So
I didn't expect it either. It came
left
out of
field,
left
right?
field.
Okay, so basically, Shazi's waking up. She's going through her morning routine, and Despina is like basically putting her food out, which is something she does every morning. Shazi's like, "What's wrong with you? Why do you look scared? What's happening?" And like Despina is like kind of trying to back away. She's like deflecting and stuff. And Shazi's like, "You look exactly how you did the day that I got poisoned." And then Despina kind of throws up in the
Her
food in her food.
I was like, ew.
Immediately, Shazi's like, "Are you pregnant?"
Right.
Shazi plays investigator for a total of like 5 minutes. She's like, "All right, so it can't be a guard. Like, you're not that." She's like, you would go for somebody who's way more like out there." And it's just and I was like, oh.
Bro.
I was like, when did that happen?
I know, but it makes sense now because when they had that interaction the day after Shazi got poisoned, she hid behind the Rajput. And I was like, bitch, what's wrong with you? And she also says that she doesn't want to tell Jalal.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's going to find out anyway when the Maury cameras show up at his door. And they're like,
You are the father.
Jalal Al-Kowri, captain of the guard. You are
the father.
Yo.
That is funny. You know what? But let's be real. Men could be so stupid.
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
Yeah.
she could really get away with this, and he'll think it ain't even his. He'll be like, well, sucks to be that guy. Like, he wouldn't even think for a second it was him.
Like, but we.
But at the same time, though, she did say, that's how she's feeling right now, not to tell him. So she might end up still telling him.
I feel like, honestly, I know Shazi said that she promised she wouldn't tell, but I feel like it's going to slip.
I mean, I mean, yeah.
It might, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it might be because they're all the main characters right now are in a space of secrecy.
Yeah.
Keeping secrets, trying to get secrets at the same time, sharing, trading secrets specifically.
Yeah.
So like they're like a secret for a secret, and I think that's how it might get mixed up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Amongst other things that I'm looking forward to hearing.
They have a tender moment though, her and Despina.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Where Shazi's kind of like, okay, you're pregnant. Like, it's fine. You don't have to, cater to my beck and call type of thing. She's like, sit down and I'll take care of you. And it was so sweet for these two because then Despina is like, I'm grateful.
But even more than that, they're two prideful bitches.
Sex.
Yes, they are. They're both very prideful. So for them both to be very vulnerable with each other right now, they're probably calling it even. Like, all right, you got this vulnerability on me. I got this vulnerability on you. Let's just look out for each other until we get through this. And that's what it feels like to me, that kind of vibe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we move on. Shazi ends up on a training grounds with Jalal. And they actually end up having a competition, like a game. The game is every time one of them gets close to the target, whoever gets close gets to ask the other one a question and that person has to answer it. It escalates to the point where she actually asks Jalal, why does Khalid kill the wives?
This is a part of Jalal that we have not seen this far. Smile from his face was gone. He was all business. He's like, the game is over.
But she says at that exact point that like he has never looked most like his father until that point.
That was pretty scary. Also, before that, too, just a really quick side note, they point out that it's supposed to rain that day. They can, like, feel it in the air and smell it. Who did he kill?
You think he killed somebody for the rain?
He has to kill somebody for the rain. It's a sacrifice.
But I thought it had to be a wife. I thought it specifically had to be a wife.
But the Khalid can have multiple wives. So what if he married somebody else in secret and then killed her the next morning?
Okay.
That was one of your theories last time.
Yeah.
So it still stands.
That could be it, yeah.
Or maybe it doesn't have to be a wife. Maybe they just thought it'd be easier to get wives. Or maybe he's getting sick. That's his sacrifice. What if him being sick is a sacrifice for the rain? So that's the only way he can get the rain without killing her. That means he's dying. Would that mean he's dying?
Yeah.
That makes sense because basically, if you think about it, he was healthy, but he was killing his wives.
Exactly. He's dying for her, maybe.
Oh, shit.
He's dying for her? My God.
Oh, my God.
Yo.
Hey, I mean, it's just a theory.
He done died for her and shit.
Maybe that's what it is.
Oh my God.
It has to be because he said, yeah, we got a little bit of rain. They didn't say a thunderstorm. So, but that's because his health is depleting little by little.
That makes so much sense.
It's causing some, sprinkle showers here and there.
All right. In the next few chapters that we read after this, I'm going to need them to explain. Explain yourself.
After that whole situation goes down where she asked that question and Jalal's like, game's over, I'm done, we're not doing this. They get into kind of a scuffle where she picks up a sword and she's like, fuck it.
This
We're
bitch
going at
has
it.
no idea what she's doing.
No, not at all. So she picks up a sword and she's never held a sword before. Everybody is looking at her like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, and then that's when Khalid shows up with Despina.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Despina's like, Brat Khalifa, like, what the fuck?
Right. Like in that exact tone too. Like, bitch, I'm supposed to be keeping an eye on your bitch ass and you was out here showing your ass. Get in the house.
No, but I like the way Khalid look at her like don't be talking to my wife like that. Yes! And she was like,
right.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
She's like, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
And she gave her that look too. She's like, bitch, when we get back to that room, I'm a bitch chore.
When you talk like in between your teeth, like
oh my God,
right, got me out here looking like a damn fool. Right,
I'm gonna walk through this.
All right, of course I'll walk you back to the room. Come on, let's go right now.
Oh my God.
My favorite part of this, because Khalid always pops up out of nowhere when she's acting out.
Facts.
I love it. But he was like, nah, you want to learn, pick it up.
Yes.
And she was afraid at first, but his eyes softened just to tell her, like, hey, look, it's okay. And he's pretty much like teaching her, giving her instructions on how to sword fight. But on page 195,
yes!
oh my
I was
God,
just about to go there.
he pulls her close. He like, of course, they're sparring, so he's in a winning position with the thing to her throat, and he whispers in her ear, "Do better than this, Shazi. My queen is without limitations, boundless in all that she does. Show them, show them who you are."
This right here, I think.
Reveal yourself.
Oh my God, it's like, am I in love?
No, I think this page was the page where I sat there. I was like, oh, okay, so he's added to the book boyfriend. He's up there. Like that page did it for me.
Definitely. He's
did it for me.
Going into the category.
I don't know. I need a little more. I just need a little more.
Steph is harder to convince.
We are very easy. We are very easy. We're like, oh,
we are very
right.
easily
swayed. We are very easily.
I listen. I almost got poisoned. Okay, listen. I need a little bit more. Okay.
I mean, but it's not like it was his hand that did the poisoning. You know,
we still don't know what's going on. So
listen, if you can love the Darkling, you can love Khalid.
I didn't read that book.
You haven't read it?
Oh, damn it! Okay, Steph, you need to read it and then get back to me. You need to read it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
just read Shadow on
The other
Bone.
thing that was really
just read
Shadow on Bone. Siege and Storm is ass.
But I do love Luke. He counts.
Yes, he does.
Oh,
yes, he does. Because
Lukey,
his
baby.
toxic ass, I would die on a hill with his toxic ass.
Yes,
I would do it.
The other interesting thing that happens here is the Rajput is also helping her.
Yes.
Like, he's not saying any words, but he's like,
Or like tapping her foot.
No, I liked when he was doing this to tell her to keep her chin up.
Yes!
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's cute. I think I might like him a little bit more than Khalid. I thought that was cute, you know.
I like the Rajput more now, but Khalid is still number one. And she also mentions at the end, the look that she sees in Khalid's eyes is pride.
Mm-hmm.
He's so proud of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, at this point, I need y'all to smash with passion. I need it.
Smash
to the DM, double DM, and I need them.
That leads us to the next scene.
Leads us to the next chapter, which is to inflict a dark wound. So, in this chapter,
Oh, my neck.
Shazi's in her chambers, and Despina had like left some like what do you call it, like
lipstick almost.
Yeah, like I guess
it was like beeswax mixed with powder
right, and like
something.
other scented oils and things like that. And Shazi's like now interested, obviously, in that stuff because now it's like, oh, I'm interested in Khalid. I want to look pretty, like I want to, that type of thing. At least that's what I thought, like reading this, and I was like, okay, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
So she does try all that out or whatever, and then Khalid shows up, and he's just like, basically, he goes up to her and he's just like, do you want this?
Yeah, he's like, I'm practicing restraint.
No, he's like, DTF.
Basically.
Right.
DTF?
Because listen, the past 2 days, shawty, I've been trying to get in them jeans.
In those jeans. Oh, yeah, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
The throwback.
Is there any more for me?
No, but he makes a point of like telling her, like, when he says, do you want this? She's like, oh, well, we've been doing this every night. And he's like, but this time it'll be different. And I was like,
yes.
Oh, yes. I was like, yes.
Like, yeah.
That was the part of the book when I read that. I was like, okay. That was when I was a little bit blushy.
We're not consummating an air.
No.
We making love.
Yeah. He's like, you gonna throw it back, okay? He was like, no holding back. I want all the guards to hear this. Like, that's how he was.
No, but dead ass.
But I mean, what else does different mean? I mean, he was gonna take her soul, okay?
He was gonna take her soul. That's exactly what was gonna happen.
He was gonna pull a loop.
Just snatch that bitch.
Like, as soon as she's on the climax, you belong to. Look at me. You belong to me.
That reminded me of a Luke moment. That's why I was like, oh, okay.
Yes, most
Oh
definitely.
my god! But this bitch had to ruin the fucking moment.
He says that to her, and they start to get hot and heavy, and she immediately in her head she's like, "This is the moment." While he's vulnerable, while he's just focused on one thing, this is when I should ask the question. And she decides.
Now, can we pause right there? Can we put a pin in that? Because when has that ever been a fucking good idea?
Never.
That is the point. That's not the point where you ask anything. First of all, if you really want to get like the hard hitter questions, or
after
you want to ask for something important, you wait until
the moment.
You wait until right before the climax.
Yeah.
Right before the climax, you're like, I want a new car. Okay.
So true.
Her timing is so off.
It was so off.
Can I go book shopping? Yes.
Yes. And I can take your card? Of course.
It's on the counter. It's on the counter.
Anything you want.
But to do that right when it's just getting started, and I remember reading that, and I was going, "No, bitch, you better not, you better not, you better not." And I was like, "No, no." I was looking forward to reading that scene.
Same.
The whole thing just.
We were like midway through the book, and I was like, "Yes, this is it." And then
Me too. I was like, "This is what we've been waiting for."
Exactly. Then she done do stupid ass.
Renee, I want to have words, Renee.
Stupid ass. So essentially what goes down is she decides in that moment to ask the question of why did they have to die? Immediately, it is almost like a whole cold bucket of water just splashes right down on Khalid, and he done. He gets up and just walks out, and he says to her right before he leaves, he's like, "Never do that to me again." And then he dips.
Yeah, because what the fuck, girl?
I was like, I can't even be mad. I was like, he's completely in the right. Like, you fucked up.
You ruined everything, you stupid bitch.
Oh my gosh. So that leads to her. She actually ends up crying and stuff, and I was like, no, you don't get to cry.
That was dumb. It was just dumb.
It was stupid.
It really was.
I mean, if you want to cry about your stupidity, okay. But I was dumb.
At that point, like,
there's no care for you here. There's no sympathy for you here, girl. You fucked up.
Right, exactly.
When we move on from this, we jump back to Jahandar, which is her father.
Yep.
And her father is up there doing some type of blood magic, sacrificing small animal cult type shit to get like magic.
Brujeria.
Or
I was about to say that. I was like, he done doing brujeria up in this bitch.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I called his ass Jafar. I was like, Jafar? Because he used to be a royal vizier.
True.
And now he's up here doing blood magic, trying to make his sorcery more powerful.
But it does, though.
So, and they said, it does work.
No, it does.
That's scary, though, because it's like, what are you planning on doing with that power? You know what I mean? Besides, like, trying to save Shazi, are you going to burn down the whole fucking palace?
But it's the difference, though, because when we first meet her dad, he's like this shy, I don't want to say shell of a man, but just kind of like I guess like...
He's reserved.
Yes, an introvert, like reserved type of person. And then by the end of this chapter, after he does his whole brujeria stuff, it says he like stands taller, breathes deeper, like more confident. And I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna end right. This just not gonna end right. This ain't it.
And from what we've known, this is what magic does to you, especially if it's not the kind of magic that's good.
Right, and we remember when he tried to do magic in front of Shazi right before she got married, he couldn't really do it well. But like when he finishes this whole witchcraft stuff, he ends up a wave of his hand and the little carcass that he had to like kill, gone immediately. And I was just like, oh, this isn't good. This just isn't.
Some shit is about to pop out.
Right. I mean, yes, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, this is not going to end well at all.
And for me, I also saw it as he inherited some kind of spirit along with the magic.
Yes, because his eyes were glowing.
Same.
Yep. So he's not even like himself. He got a double body syndrome thing going on, possession type shit.
Correct. And how you gonna try to save your daughter if you got somebody in you that ain't supposed to be there?
Facts.
Like,
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
That could go wrong.
You're like, I need to go this way to save my daughter, and the spirit's like, fuck that. We're going to the club.
We're going to the club. They all die. I mean, really? It wasn't smart, you know?
The other thing that I thought about in this moment too was that we have all of these people trying to come to Shazi's aid, to Shazi's rescue. But when they get there, is she going to cut that final lifeline and be like, I stand with Khalid and I will fight against you to protect him?
She should. She should.
Even against her dad and Tyreek? Against Tyreek, I know that's going to happen, but against her dad?
I think there's going to be a little bit of a trouble there. Like, there's going to be a little bit of an issue, obviously. Because that's her Baba. That's her dad.
Yeah.
But as you guys said, like, what if the person who shows up to save her isn't exactly her dad?
And she would know. Yeah. She's not a dumb girl. She would know the difference.
But she has the gift as well, so she would definitely
As Musa has said, like, he recognized, he was like, you have the gift. Whenever you're ready to train, I will train you. I'm willing. So, like, obviously she also inherited whatever her father has. But, like, I think if her dad does show up and she sees the way he is, she's going to know the skin is Baba, but whoever's in it isn't Baba.
Oh, like the House of Hollow moment. Poor Tyler. I'll never recover.
Oh, my God.
So that moves us into the last chapter for this episode, which is chapter 19, called A Brutal Truth. And Shazi is having some serious guilt.
As she should.
About Shiva.
As she should.
Listen, she didn't know all this shit was going to pop off before she came here. Like, you can't blame her. But Despina comes in, and she pretty much think that her and Khalid fucked, because there's, like, the blanket on the floor, and his shirt is still on the bed, and she's like, and you gonna tell me nothing happened? Not a little. And she's like, nah. And they do have another heart-to-heart where we learn more about Despina and her past and her mom and why she's actually at the palace, which was really sad.
It was really sad, but it made a lot of sense about her situation currently.
Yeah.
So, like,
that was one of our theories, though, because we were all trying to figure out how she got there in the first place. And I was like, it's common that they run away from wherever they're running from. So now we know. Yeah. Now we know why.
Okay. Quick side note and really, really wild, outlandish theory. When Despina says that her father or sperm donor left her mother and, like, she was better off for it, do we think that maybe Despina's father could have been Khalid's father?
Could have been. It could have been, because she just says that the man who got her mother pregnant already had a wife and kid.
And a family and was super rich. And,
right. And like, he gave her mom a bunch of lies.
It also could have been Zeus, because
we're talking about Greece.
Mythology.
And Zeus slept with everybody in Greece. Everybody was Zeus's kid in Greece.
How did Zeus not get syphilis?
He probably
or gonorrhea or fucking
the cloud. They all had all types of shit.
They all had all types of crap. All types of crap.
He had gonosyphilaria. Ew. Shazi also is confronted in this chapter by Despina. She cares. And she knows that she cares, but she's trying not to she's trying to put on a facade for her, which of course is not working. And at the end, oh my God, what does she say on the end page?
I have it on high authority that any attempt to harm you will be treated as a direct attempt on the life of our king. On pain of death, you are as important to him as his own life.
And I'm sure Shazi, after that, was like, fuck.
Right. She was like, God damn, boy.
She's like, shit.
You know what? It reminded me of that scene in the new Aladdin movie where he's trying to tell him that he's Aladdin. And he's like, your integrity will never again be questioned. I am glad to call you son. And he's like, there's no coming back. I can't tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's where we end for this episode. Do you guys have any other predictions?
To me, I'm hoping it's about to go down.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to arrive soon, try to save her. There's going to be some drama.
Yes.
Like, that's what I'm hoping for. I like a good fight scene. Y'all already know. I'm hoping, at least. I want to see, because I really feel like her family, even though they're coming to save her, that's like the ultimate goal. They also have their own motives.
Yes,
and,
I agree.
And so did she when she went there. So, like, it might clash and it might not go well. And so that's why I'm looking forward to see how this all turns out, and I hope it happens in a good enough time, pacing wise.
I know, because she's been doing really well, like we said so far, with pacing and energy and action and like.
I don't want a cliffhanger. No cliffhanger.
You know it's gonna be a cliffhanger. You know it is.
But not with that.
Any prediction, Dash?
It's a lot.
You look so stressed. You look so stressed.
I know, right?
There's a lot going on.
Because she's in love, that's why.
I am.
That's what it is. That's a love face.
No, I in regards to predictions, I think I agree with a lot of the predictions that we already talked about. I don't know what worries me is her dad. Her dad is what worries me, because he obviously wants to save her, and like the fact that he would go to that extent to possibly be okay with possession to get the amount of magic that he wants to get in order to help her. I don't know. That's
red flag.
Red flag. And then like this entire time that we read the amount that we read, we didn't even hear about Tariq. And like the last time we heard about Tariq, he was up in arms to go back and go get her. So it makes me wonder, like, what the fuck is he planning? Where is he on the map? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if he got that army that he wanted.
Exactly. And are they?
They're gonna storm the fucking. They're gonna storm.
Yes, exactly.
The palace,
are they on their way? Is the next chapter him storming the castle? Do you get what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. So yeah.
Oh, lots of shit. Lots of shit. I love it. The drama. The drama.
So stay tuned.
All the metaphorical shit hitting the fan. Yes. So the next pages that we are going to read for the next episode are pages 212 to page 268.
But with that, I want to say thank you guys for joining us. We love you guys. Stay tuned for the next episode, and always stay YA at heart. Bye.
Bye.